What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fan, 49er gang? This is your boy Niner Gang Podcast back in the building. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, let's get right on into it, man. So today's video is about one of my favorite positions, honestly, and it's the defensive backfield. But we're talking specifically about the safeties. So we definitely want to make sure that we talk about the safety play and all good, brother. All good, man. Um, Now, hey, man. Hey, congrats on the graduations, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Hey, congrats on the graduation party. You know what I'm saying? Go there, have fun, man. Be a young dude, and keep it pushing, baby. You can check the video out later. That ain't nothing. Do that graduation party, man. It's going to be a beautiful thing. It's going to be a good time, man. You know what I'm saying? Pick you up a couple little something out there, youngin'. You know? But shout out to the young man, CarCast. If y'all don't know about CarCast, man, definitely, check him out. Hit his link up. He does great work. Another good 49ers content. Great 49ers content creator. T-Jack, what's happening with you, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. Hope life is treating you well and the family is good and safe. Yeah, man, but we got to talk about these safeties. And as y'all know how I move. I always do things from the bottom up. So I always start with the guys that we don't really know too much about. And then I just, kind of move on around to the guys that we do know a lot about. So honestly, right now, you know what I'm saying, to tell you exactly what happened. Sorry, I've been cleaning all day, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep your house clean. That's always how it works. Learn that from my mama, and pops too. You know what I'm saying? Very clean people. We couldn't be in a dirty house, have a dirty ass room, none of that shit. So we're here to talk about these guys, man. So we're going to start right at the bottom. I basically pulled this list. Once again, shout out Niners Nation. You know what I'm saying? Doing fantastic work over there. So we're going to start with a young man by the name of Avery Young. He is 6'1". He's defensive back, 205 pounds. Looks like he went to Rutgers. He was there for 5 years. Pretty much every year he played in at least 12 games except 2, which was 2019 and 2020. He played in 11 in 2019 and 9 in 2020, which we all know that was a COVID year. So it's definitely a little bit of a struggle. Pretty good tackler. Numbers seem to be very good over the last 2 years. He had 77 tackles in 2021, 84 tackles in 2022. So that's good. As long as the numbers go up, that's all we care about. He had a couple of tackles for a loss when it came to there. So let me make sure this thing don't shut down out here. He's only had 3 interceptions in his whole career. He had 2 within 2021 and 2022, and his other one was in 2019. So that's okay, but not great, production and whatnot. So then we have right here, looks like he had couple of passes defense. His best year was his first year in 2018. He had 10 in total. And then, last year he had 4. So you can see he does a few things here and there. He's got 5 forced fumbles over his career. I'm not mad at that. So when you take a look at the numbers and the figures, what's going on, Steve-O? And what do you say? Adam Sandler, Matt Bay. Hey, man, I love him in The Waterboy, man. That shit was fire. I hate him. Waterboy is one of the best movies, man. If you ain't never seen Waterboy, you're missing out on some fantastic fucking comedy. Shout out Steve-O Supremo. But yeah, man, when you look at the numbers and you look at the stats, he seems to be, a prototypical kind of guy. He's got the right size, got the right height. As far as that goes for safety position, but you don't know much about him. So he's a rookie. So he's got to come in here, make his bones, and earn his spot. For Avery Young, I would say at a bare minimum, maybe special teams. If he were to even make the squad, and then on top of that, if he doesn't make the squad, maybe practice squad. It all depends, because we can keep a couple people, so we try to stash a few people here and there. It's not a big deal, you know what I'm saying? Me, to be honest with you, really quick, I'm a veer off the path for just a hot second. When you say what kind of music, so this is like a black thing, a Hispanic thing. We listen to music when we clean. Now, when I was a kid, it was always old school R&B. You know, we had Anita Baker, Patti LaBelle, we had the Isley Brothers, Temptations, Four Tops, Delphonics, all kinds of different things because moms ran the playlist, so we couldn't be out there listening. And me, I mix it up. Sometimes it'll be R&B, sometimes it'll be rap. So it all just kind of depends, on my mood that morning. Sometimes I wake up and I'm ready to clean, and I feel like I just want to hear the Isley Brothers just help me mop these floors and scrub these tubs. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I wake up and hey, I just need DMX to get me through doing everything I need to do. So it all depends, man. But it's usually mainly either rap or R&B, more so R&B, and every now and then gospel music, because gospel music will get you through, and then you'll get that, you'll get that song you ain't heard in a minute. You'll be like, oh, that's my yes. So a little bit of mix, man. It's rap, gospel music, and or R&B. But that's the stuff I listen to when I get my clean on. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Avery Young, he's kind of on the outside looking in as far as being able to make the squad. Young rookie, did go to Rutgers and was there for the past couple of years. So, you're not mad at him. You want to see him go ahead, get in here and try and do some things. He was a UDFA because I think we only drafted one safety, and we'll talk about him later. So the next guy up on the list is going to be Taylor Hawkins. Now, Taylor Hawkins is 6'1", 205. He's a hybrid. He's a DB and a safety. He comes out of SDSU. So shout out the big homie Super Dave, the OG. But he went to SDSU. He played 5 years. Well, he was there from 2017 all the way to 2021. Looks like he either didn't play or didn't have very healthy seasons, because it wasn't until 2021 where he played a full 13-game season, had 62 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 2 interceptions, and 10 passes defensed. Okay, now that's a good thing. So what people have to understand about passes defensed is it's simple. You're knocking the ball down. But at the end of the day, that means you're around the ball, you know where it is, and you have a knack to be able to make sure that people don't catch it while they're in your vicinity. And I like that. So I can appreciate that when it comes to Taylor Hawkins. Another guy, once again, as I said, on the outside looking in. I don't believe we probably keep more than 4 safeties at a maximum, just based on the fact that, it's just all you can really keep without trying to stash guys on the practice squad. And you can't stash good dudes on the practice squad because once they hit waivers, they're gone. Somebody's going to scoop them up because they're needed. But, yeah, for his last season, that seems to be well. But let's hope that it's not a situation where he comes, he's one of those people who's injury prone, because we have this unfortunate problem with drafting injury prone players and loving on them and holding on to them and keeping them safe. It just irks my nerves when that actually happens. So kind of is what it is. But I think Taylor Hawkins, once again, another guy, did a couple things, but on the outside looking in, definitely want to see what he can bring to the table. The 10 passes defense is very, very intriguing. I love that. If you're around the ball and you can knock it down and people don't catch it on you, I don't care if you don't have a bunch of if you don't have a ton of interceptions, you better have a lot of passes defense. And if you don't have a lot of passes defense, you should have at least a nice amount of interceptions. So you kind of offset one with the other. If it makes sense. So next guy we're going to talk about here is Miles Hartsfield. Now, Hartsfield comes over from the Carolina Panthers. He's a Steve Wilkes kind of guy. Hartsfield is a safety, and he's mainly a special teams kind of guy. So let's take a look at what we've got from him. I'm just trying to find his information because I know I had it here. He was I'm on defense, trying to find his name there. There we go, Miles Hartsfield. So Hartsfield played 15 games. He had 59 total tackles. He had 2 tackles for a loss, 2 passes defense, and 1 forced fumble. So when you look at it, it's a guy coming from, you know, much of coming from special teams, coming into the team, and we're seeing what he has to offer. And he basically got here on Steve Wilkes' good graces. That's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? You say you're gonna run some phrases by me? Go ahead, Steve. Oh, you do what you do, baby. Um, it's a situation where this is one of those dudes you kind of got to try to figure him out. You know what I'm saying? Pancakes now called silverbacks. Hmm. I didn't know that. That's definitely first. I don't. You gotta tell me where that's from though, because I've never seen that, Steve-O. Pancakes now called silverbacks. What? Are we talking? Oh, okay. Unless you're talking football, Trent Williams silverback. Okay, clicked. Got it. But it's a situation of him coming in, earning his spot, learning what he needs to learn, knowing what he needs to do, understanding our defense and the nuances and things of that. As Steve Wilkes has come in and basically said, I'm not going to change much. You'll probably just see a little more blitzing and a couple other things. So that's not a bad thing for me. I feel like it's a good thing for us to blitz a little bit more. We've got the linebackers to do it. Yeah, there you go. Honor Trent Williams. Exactly. That's what I figured. So it's a situation where you must make sure that Hartsfield is coming along properly, learning everything that he needs to learn and doing what he needs to do. Nothing negative. I haven't heard anything bad about him, and I haven't heard anything necessarily overwhelmingly good. So if he's kind of right there in the middle, that's perfectly fine for me. Once training camp starts, we'll start to hear more and know a little bit more from the beat writers and your guys. You're unfortunately, God, I don't really like listening to this dude, but your David Lombardi's. Naoko's a pretty good dude. We just gotta have some stronger media. I don't listen to Grant like that, and I don't subscribe to him like that. Every now and then I listen to him because he is an insider with the team. But once again, after the Javon Kinlaw incident and what he said, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I ain't got nothing against him. I'm not wishing anything ill or negative on him. I feel like he, hopefully he continues to do whatever he's doing and continue to, live life and everything. But, with a comment like that, you know what you meant and you said that. So, you can't retract it, so to speak, if that makes sense. But either way, moving on rapidly. So, it's nice to have a little young guy coming in. And Hartsfield, once again, he wouldn't be starting anyway. He would just wind up probably most likely and most likely wind up on probably the practice squad or maybe even special teams if he actually even makes the team. But that depends if we keep 4 to 5 safeties. So that's the key here. How many safeties are we actually going to keep versus, the guys that we have already in house, and that's probably what we want to figure out really quick. So give me just a sec here. I don't know what that is. All right, cool. So next guy up on the list is George Odom, obviously. Mr. Odom was with us last year. He was special teams. He was a backup safety, and he definitely did his thing while he was on special teams. He did what he could. You can only do so much on special teams, people. You run it down, you tackle, and that's pretty much about it. You don't really see a lot. He didn't see a ton of playing time, but when he did, it seems like he did make a nice little impact. So George Odom did play all 17 games. He had a total of 22 tackles, and he had 1 pass defense. He had 1 interception, and that was pretty much it. So a lot of people were kind of making the debate on whether him or Hartsfield should actually make the squad. Hartsfield had a little bit more on the numbers and whatnot, but then again, if you get the opportunity to be able to play, you can make it happen. And Wilkes is supposedly the DB whisperer, so we want to see what he has to make sure that we're getting the right guys and we're putting the right people on the field and doing the right things. That's my key. So George Odom, he looks good. He's a special teamer. We brought him in specifically for that. We had to bolster our special teams because we were trash, and we did. We improved. We got better. Now they've got some new weird kickoff rule. I'm not going to get into it because I'm not a rules guy and I don't know a lot about it, so I don't want to speak on something that I'm not privy to. But it is what it is. Steve Otoprimo says tip boss called RLs to honor Ronnie Lotz. pinky and tipped interceptions called tents. Okay, all right. RLs, I like that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like that. That's actually perfect. So Steve-O out here with the net. I appreciate you, Steve-O. Thank you for that. We're gonna definitely have to run with these. I'm gonna write these joints down. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna run with those. Matter of fact, we do that at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna write these down and I'm gonna make sure I try to get them. You know, that way if I talk about any pancakes or any INTs, then we're gonna go ahead and run with it. So we got INT equal RLs. Now, we're going to call tents for tipped pass. All right. And pancakes equals silverbacks. I like it. I like it. We're going to run with that. You said just trying to get out of pulling weeds. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. I appreciate. Oh God, I hate pulling weeds though, man. Yeah, I had that. I used to do lawn work back in the day, man. That's how I used to make some money, man. I used to mow everybody's lawn on my grandmother's block, and I had it locked for a minute, you know, until I got out there and started living life, and you know, you start doing the things you're doing, man. You're young, you know, you have your fun. You know, I'm chasing girls, smoking weed and shit, doing whatever I'm doing. That's what it is. J.R. Meadows, what's happening with you, man? He said Niners Gang DMV edition. We in the building. Yes, sir. DMV. Shout out to DMV, man. So when it comes down to it, you know, we like what George Odom has. Probably gonna, you know, probably will be on the squad. You never know. Next guy up on the list is the man that we drafted, the first draft pick we had this year, Jair Brown. Now, this guy has been making a ridiculous amount of noise at camp. He's getting a lot of love from the coaches. He's getting what's on Roy Boy. He's getting a lot of love from the coaches. He's getting a lot of love from the players. Brandon Ayuk has sung his praises on several different occasions. He's already got several picks. He dropped a couple. So this is my guy. I like a guy that can intercept the ball, man. That's definitely what it is. It's always going to be, you know, more of a beautiful thing. He did play 3 years at Penn State. Last year he played all 13 games. He had 56 tackles. He had 74 tackles, which is only one up from his prior year in 2021. 4.5 sacks, 4 interceptions, 3 passes defense, 1 fumble recovery, and 2 forced fumbles. And that was just last year. So that for me is more than enough to say, hey, look at the kid's stats coming out of college. Look what he just did. So that tells me that he definitely is around the ball. He's a ball hawk. He loves to tackle, and he can blitz properly. You know what I'm saying? And one of our main keys when while we've had this same kind of defense and people in the building that we've had was K'Wan Williams, a shark, who I believe is over in New York with the Jets right now. He was always our nickel, and he was our blitzing DB for the most part. If it wasn't him, it was usually Jimmy Ward, who's now gone. I don't even know where Jimmy Ward signed. I know he signed. I think he signed like a 1 or 2 year deal somewhere, but I don't remember where he signed. But it was either him or the Shark. So to have a guy like Jair Brown, that's awesome. Plus, Steve Wilkes likes to have a 3 safety look every now and then. So you could only imagine having Gip, Huff, and Jair on the field at the same time. I'm telling you right now, as an O-line, I'm confused. I don't know what's happening, and I don't know which one of these motherfuckers is coming my way, but I'm not going to be happy about it because you won't know. Is you're going to have Huff cheat up to the line and drop him back, but boom, here goes Jair. He's down there, and next thing you know, he's sacking the quarterback. So you'll never know which one is going to go which way, but you just got to be real smart about it and real careful. But I do like what Jair Brown has been doing since he's got here. Nothing but good things that I've heard about the kid, and he's been praised, man. And I love every second of it. So hopefully he definitely is going to make this squad with just the amount of noise he made in OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Yeah, this kid's going to be a star, and I feel like he's definitely you could possibly push Gip out for that starting spot. You never know, man. You never know. So shout out Jair Brown for being a good dude. Hey, Mom. Being a good dude, coming into camp, making a nice amount of noise and figuring things out. So Next guy up on the list is Tayshaun Gibson. Now, Gip came in and he wound up playing because Jimmy Ward was injured in the beginning of the season. He was supposed to basically come back and take his spot. But the synergy that was created between Talanoa Hufanga and Tayshaun Gibson, it was just a situation that we just couldn't, it was unavoidable. We couldn't, in good faith, put Jimmy Ward back on the field, having him knock the rust off, and then, kind of building more of a relationship with Huff when Huff and Gip were just, it was perfect. Like the mesh, what they did, how they moved, they knew each other's move, like all that. It just worked out too well. So basically what happened was we said nah, and Jimmy Ward put it out there and then he kind of retracted it, but it's very simple. Jimmy Ward came back off injury. Excuse me. Kyle had already made the decision. Jimmy's going to nickel and Gip is staying in safety. We're not going to change that. So what happened? Jimmy Ward was basically told, hey, you either play nickel or you ride the fucking bench. It don't matter to us. You're going to do what you're going to do, but that's the position that's open. Take it or leave it. So he did. He took it. And I'm not mad at him for that. You know what I'm saying? You got to go out there, get your money, make your money, and then you got to make sure that you play out the rest of this contract in high fashion. So when you do go get your next contract, wherever you decided to go, you want to make sure that you get, the most bang for your buck, and you want to make sure the teams value you and know and understand your worth. So he went out there, he did it, while sometimes being a little reluctant and making a few boneheaded plays. And those were things to get back at the organization. I know that because Jimmy Ward doesn't typically make stupid plays. He really sucks at intercepting the ball. I don't know. Sometimes he either got stone hands or he can't catch shit at all. One and two. But either way, it was a cool thing for us to be able to see him and figure out exactly what was going on with him and do some things that, worked out for the team and for him. He's on the field, earning his paycheck, making himself look good for the next squad, and we got a solid nickel. We don't have to worry about that position anymore outside of Demo and Mooney. So not mad at him, but Gip played very well last year, man. He dropped several interceptions and tipped a couple over to Huff. So, it kind of works out. So Gip had he played all 17 games. He had 61 tackles. He had half a sack. He had 8 passes defense, 5 interceptions. And I mean, those are solid numbers for starting NFL safety. They're really, really solid numbers. I'm not mad at him at all. I think he's doing very well. I think he's going to be great and continue to be great. So Gip right now is the starting safety. Could that change? Yes. If the emergence of Jair Brown is just too much, look, man, this organization has done things their own way since they've been here. So it could be a situation where, yes, you wind up having Huff and Jair Brown on the field. And I'm not mad at that. 2 young dudes, 2 guys that are very well equipped to be able to help this squad and continue to improve this defense. So we may see a little bit of Jair Brown, on the field before we see a little bit of Gip. So you never know. And either way, I am happy that we've got, we've got enough guys on our squad to be able to supplement if we need to, bring someone else in and put them in different spots. So the next guy up on the list is the guy that I love to death. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him love. You got to throw them T's up. You know what I'm saying? Talanoa Hufanga, baby. Huff. That's my dude. I like him. I've liked him since we drafted him. Been a big fan of him. I know he makes like a few plays sometimes where you're like, what's going on? But these are things that'll happen. Even the best of the best make mistakes. No one's perfect. So for me, Huff has played very well. I love what he's doing, and I think he's going to be another fantastic player. I don't see anything stopping him. He played all 17 games. He had 97 tackles. He had 2 sacks, 5 tackles for a loss, 9 passes defense, 4 interceptions, and even a TD. He had 2 forced fumbles. Like, what more do you want from your safety? I'd probably like a couple more picks. But that's just me because I'm greedy with the interception thing. I'd rather that. I like a ball hawk. I like to be like just to make it simple. I hated Darrelle Revis. I never liked him. You know why? Because Revis could go out there and he can knock the ball down a billion fucking times, but he can never intercept it. He has like I think like a small amount of interceptions. Like his interceptions, it's very very low. So I never cared for that. So when it comes to guys like that, I liked your Rod Woodsons and your Deion Sanders and guys like that. And what I'm saying, those are the types of dudes. Your Paul Krause, who still holds the interception record in the NFL. I think it's like 88. I think he had like 11 or 12 in 1 year. That dude was crazy. Paul Krause played both ways, mind you. So this is like old school football. You don't know who Paul Krause is? Go look him up, man. His highlights would blow your fucking mind. But went out there and did what he did, man. I expect him to get to be starters. I don't expect nothing less. I love both of them. I love the energy and the synergy that they have when they're on the field and knowing and understanding the defense. And then Steve Wilkes being there, just getting there, fine tuning things. I think it's only going to make it even better, man. I truthfully do. I think that Huff and Giff are in for great seasons, great seasons so far. So those are all the safeties that we have at this present time, at least from the list that I was able to pull. So now, y'all know what it's time for, man. It's time for that segment. Get the fuck out of here. So, started this segment, man. It was like random as hell. Shout out to my dog, 49er Media. Shout out to my man, Brandon. His birthday. No Border, what's happening with you, baby? No Border Sports, my dog Ryan in the building. That boy looked like he about 40 years younger. He cut his hair, cut his beard and everything. He looked young as shit. Looked like he should still be in high school. But yeah, man, it just came out of nowhere. And that's what we do now while I'm doing trying to kind of figure out who will make the squad. Haven't done a full 53-man roster type thing because I haven't gotten through the whole squad yet. But since we're on the safeties, Avery Young, as much as I like you, and I see what you have, if we're talking about who's actually going to make the squad, Avery Young, get the fuck out of here. Sorry, he's probably not going to make the squad. Taylor Hawkins, got to do you the same way, man. Get the fuck out of here. Taylor Hawkins, I don't know. I just don't see it happening. Probably a good kid. Hopefully gets picked up somewhere, maybe even practice squad. Now, here's the thing. We got 5 safeties after that. So we got 7 in total, but we got 5 after that. So that 4th spot is going to be between Miles Hartsfield and George Odom. Now, yes, Hartsfield may be a Steve Wilkes guy, but George Odom is a 49ers guy. You know what I'm saying? He was here with us, and he played last year. He did things for us, and he already has endeared himself with special teams and whatnot. Not to say that Hartsfield can't come in and change things. And yes, Hartsfield had some better stats than George Odom. So that I had to just get the fuck out of here to Taylor and Avery because Hartsfield may wind up on the squad. We might just keep 5 safeties, and I can't give him to get the fuck out of here if I'm not sure. So honestly, that leaves us with 5 safeties. We got Huff, we got Gipp, we got Jair, we got George, and we got Miles. George and Miles, interchangeable. They may or may not make the squad. I don't know. It all depends on what they do. Once again, like I said, George has already ingratiated himself with the organization, with the people, with special teams, with our special team coordinator and everything. And Miles is coming in trying to make that impression and do the things that he needs to do. Once again, it's better for you to always have an inside plug when it comes down to one of the coaches because then it helps your chances of staying and not being cut, if that makes sense. But those are our safeties. Just wanted to drop a quick video for you guys, give y'all a little bit of content. Probably going to go ahead and do another one in just a minute. I just want to take a look to see. Ooh, this one's going to be long. So y'all going to have to give me some time on this one. I'm probably going to see if I can bring a couple people through with me because this is it, man. I think we got the DBs. The DBs are up next. And y'all already fucking know. It's my favorite position in football is defensive back. I love every single DB that we have. You know what I'm saying? And those DB, that's going to be a longer video. See, this one's like 30 minutes and I'm about to cut this, but that DB video is going to go on for a minute, and I'll see if I can bring in a couple of friends to help me out with that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Everyone stay up, stay faithful, stay blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And don't forget, man, celebrate Juneteenth, okay? If y'all don't know about it, Juneteenth is on Monday. That is actually the day that we were free, okay? So if you don't know about Juneteenth, look it up. If you're black, most of the time it was taught in your household. Some people may or may not know about it, but definitely do that. Oh, see, Roy Boy hit me with the German, so I got to hit him with the German. So give me just a hot sec, man, because I ain't gonna be able to do it. So let's see here. I'll find it. Give me just a second. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. See this one. You said Donka, which is like thank you. And this says Kien Ursache. So that's the way you say you're welcome in German. So Kien Ursache. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? And anytime I think of German, I honestly think of my own heritage. I got a little bit of French, a little bit of German. On my mom's side, you know, my great grandmother, my mother's mothers. So my mother's mother. Like, that makes sense. But yeah, man, just make sure you go out there, you celebrate Juneteenth, you understand exactly what it is. And really quickly, man, I'm always, you know, an advocate for, you know, equality and inclusivity. But I am, you know, a faith-based human being. I always have been, always will be. My mom raised us Catholic. So I want to say I appreciate all of the protesters that were outside of Dodger Stadium protesting that group that is literally mocking our religion and mocking our faith. So I just have to say, for me, on my end of things, thank you so much to all of the Christians and Catholics that were out there representing our faith, standing up for our faith, and saying no to the mockery that goes on with what these people do. I don't know what they are. I think they're called sisters or something. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm a faith-based individual. You know what I'm saying? I do know that God exists. I have accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And even if you don't, I understand it. Everybody lives life the way they want to. But what I will say is the Dodgers organization has lost a fan due to them advocating for that. And I don't understand why you would be okay with that, knowing that you're in Echo Park, which is predominantly Hispanic, Latino, and what are they mostly? Catholics. So you can't, in good faith, know that you have that many people to come to the squad. That's not okay. You know what I'm saying? That's not okay. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly say thank you to the people that stood up against that and said, hey, this is not okay. We're not cool with that. And, you know, please, at all times, respect us. Y'all want us to respect what y'all doing, that's fine. But y'all go do that over there. Don't come to these games. And then, you know, the Dodgers organization looks really bad for doing what they did because they at first said no, and then they said yes. And now they just got them coming back, and you're giving these people hero awards and all. That's not heroic to mock our faith and mock what we truthfully believe in. That's not okay. People want equality. They want to live their lives and do the things they do. That's cool. You go do that elsewhere. But as big of a platform as Dodger Stadium is, and as many fans as they have, I mean, Vin Scully, for God's sakes, was a devout Catholic. So do you really think Vin Scully would have been there trying to call a game with that? No, I mean, he probably would have quit on the spot. But I say thank you to those people who went ahead and stood up for that. You know, it definitely, to me, was very, very heartwarming. And it makes me it lets me know that there are people out there who still have faith and who still believe in God. And, you know, if you do or you don't, that's your life, that's your prerogative. But me here on my channel, I have always been a person who expresses himself. I always say exactly what I want to say, and I never, ever, ever shy away from any topics. I'm always willing to sit down and talk with people, have a humble conversation and debate, to even find happy mediums to help people get a better understanding of things. But there's no way that I could sit there and say that I'm going to watch the Dodgers now. I'm saying, knowing that they went ahead and did that. And that's a slap in the face to me. That's a slap in the face to my faith and to Catholics and Christians all around the world, for you to let this group come out here and do the disgusting things that they were doing. And for them to come out and say, "Oh, we're not mocking your faith," that's a bold-faced lie. So I know a lot of people don't like to take a stance on that, and that's fine. Those people don't have to, but I will. I will not stand for people mocking my faith and what I truthfully believe in. So for those people out there in LA that did that, I salute you. Hats off. Appreciate you for everything that you did. I'll be back a little bit later with another video. We're going to talk about the DBs, and man, oh man, that's going to be fun. We'll see if we get a couple people in here to hang out with me and talk about these defensive backs. But until then, stay up, stay faithful, stay blessed, and I'm out. Peace.